Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here as we get set for our 6th race of the debut season of the NNSCRA TaxSlayer Truck Series. Getting ready for the 2nd time this season to go racing at a super speedway. We kicked the season off with the Daytona race. That was our first introduction to these drivers on a restricted plate track. Today we are at the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway. And what do we usually say about the restricted plate tracks? They seem to cater to the driver that's struggling in the points. The underdog driver, if you will. We'll have to see if that holds true in today's race. So far, we've had 5 races. Well, technically, we've had 6 races, but only 5 starts for each one of these drivers, if you count the 2 dual races we had at Bristol Dirt. So, theoretically, we've had 5 races for each one of these drivers, and we have had a total of 6 different winners so far this season. The most recent was a couple of weeks ago at Texas Motor Speedway, and that was Joshua Ciculli. So we've got some very interesting names already that have come to the forefront, are trying to get themselves into one of those 8 available spots in the chase for the championship. And right now, as things stand, 5 of those 8 spots are filled. I'll fill you in on why only 5 and not 6 in just a moment. You got A Garcia and Joshua Ciculli. They're former winners this season, 1st and 2nd in points. Alex Gray is 16th in the point stands. He, of course, won at Bristol Dirt. Jonathan Zorlin, our Las Vegas race winner, is 19th. Tony Green, our Daytona winner, in 26th. And then our other winner at Bristol, Paul Minnick, is down 34th in points. Now, the reason that only 5 of the slots we taken right now is because with Minnick running outside the top 30, that win right now would not count towards a chase spot. There's still a long ways to go in the season, and there's still a big opportunity for a number of drivers to get wins this year. I think we're going to have a lot of drivers that have found victory lane this season not make the chase for the championship. It's going to be really close, and that's why I think multiple wins could be very important in this series particularly. We'll see if maybe one of the former winners so far this season will try and get win number 2 here today at Talladega Super Speedway, as Davey Johnson lines up on the pole position alongside of Zach Rogers. If you want to see your starting lineup, check down in the description below. It's time now to go down trackside and get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
There is the command, and so the pace car, or pace truck in this case, will lead the 42 truck field off of pit road. And while these drivers make their way around this 2.66 mile super speedway, it's time to give you your top 10 in points coming into today's race, courtesy of Golden Corral. Ace Garcia is still the points leader. He had a really good run last week at 2 weeks ago, I should say, at Texas, and he has a 41-point lead coming into today's race here at Talladega. 41 points holds over last time out's winner, Joshua Ciculli. 3rd in the point stands is J Srigley. He's 43 points out of the top spot. 45 points out is Joshua Hyatt. And Carter Friesen jumped up into the top 10 last time out to 5th in the point coming into today's race. The rest of your top 10 in the standings are R Brommer, R Cervantes, Patrick Smith, Seth Cole, and R Madden. As far as our front row is concerned, outside pole sitter Zach Rogers, 12th in points, so he could certainly use a good run here today. That would probably move him into the top 10 in the point stands. And Davey Johnson comes into this race 26th in points. He dropped a number of spots last time out at Texas, 6 spots in total. Talked about R Cervantes coming to this race 7th in the point stands. Keep in mind, Tony Green was our winner at our only super speedway start so far this season at Daytona. R Cervantes was the one who came up runner-up to the 21 car. So we'll see if Cervantes can get some super speedway redemption here today at Dega. This track can hold them 3 wide, sometimes even 4 wide, and don't be surprised if these drivers try forcing the issue in that regard. It's going to be 19 laps of racing in this one. Doesn't seem like a long amount of laps, but believe me, it takes them a while to get around this super speedway, and so our stages here today are going to be 6, 6, and 7. That's how the stage points will work in today's race. And without further ado, the pace truck is peeled off. You'll notice that there's no start-finish line right here in the middle of the tri-oval. It's all the way down at the exit of the tri-oval between the tri-oval and turn 1. That few hundred feet could be the difference to who's crossing the line first and who's crossing the line second. As we get set to go, green flag is out. Let's roll at Dega. Jessica Miles wasting no time to the inside for the race lead, and she'll go to the top position, getting some help there from J Lagasee in the 11. Jessica Miles making the move that's going to get her the race lead, and it was a legal move. You can shift to the inside line once you've crossed the start-finish line. You can't switch lanes before that start-finish line. Miles waited till they crossed the line, and now she's way out in front. Carter Friesen's going to move into second in the 29, and now here comes Caitlin Tsang to the inside on Lagasee. She's going to go for third. And will Jessica Miles lead the first lap? Carter Friesen took a little peek into the inside, but didn't have enough momentum, didn't have enough of a run, and Jessica Miles will indeed lead the first lap of this race, but I doubt she'll lead lap 2 because Friesen's got the inside line, and he's got friends. Caitlin Tsang, Marcus Saatchi, Davidson is down there, as well as Cervantes. Look at the big run. Caitlin Tsang's getting down the back straightaway, and now Marcus Saatchi's going to move to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead, heading into turn 3. No, they won't. Caitlin Tsang able to get just in front of the FedEx Toyota Tundra to be able to lead through turns 3 and 4. Of course, WF9 Racing picking up their first win of the season 2 weeks ago at Texas with Joshua Ciculli. Teammate Caitlin Tsang out in front, showing the way in this one here at Dega. Mason Wood on that inside line, Tyler Deaver there, Shane Lake as well, all trying to make their way up towards the front of the field as the top 3 are single file, top 4 maybe single file by the time they exit turn number 2. Indeed they are. Shane Lake will now clear Tyler Deaver for 4th. Here comes Mason Wood, big run down the back straightaway, trying to go for 2nd on Saatchi, but he's got nobody helping him down there. Got Jessica Miles back there now, but it took her a while to get into the draft of the 92 to help push him. Now they'll battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but all this going on behind the 37 of Caitlin Tsang. And it looks like everybody is still up in this lead pack, so nobody's lost the draft. You lose the draft and there's no caution, your chances of winning this race are absolutely hopeless. And they're going to go 3 wide, about 3 rows deep now here at the front of the field. Now make it 4 rows deep. 5 rows deep there as they are 3 wide all the way back through this lead pack. Jessica Miles back to the lead. Jordan Lopez right there in 2nd. Eli Sazak is right there as well in the 05 with Seth Cole in the 98, also on that inside line. Nick Johnson there as well. And Lopez will go to the lead. These drivers racing like it's the last lap, slicing and dicing, moving and grooving, finding their friends wherever they can. And while they're racing 3 wide up here in this big first pack, that's actually helping those stragglers back there to be able to catch back up. You can see everybody is still in the draft there. I think the last car in the field right now is Jonathan Zorlin in the 88, and he is on the tail end of this field. So I don't think anybody even yet has lost the draft. And as they continue to battle up here and be really spaced out, 3 wide, 4 wide back in mid-pack area, that allows those other drivers to be able to catch the draft, have a better opportunity of not losing the draft. And as soon as I say that, I look all the way back there, and as the enters into turn number 3, there was a truck just exiting turn number 2, so someone has lost the draft already. Well, a couple of cars have lost the draft. There's another 2-car pack back here with Jake Moss and the points leader coming in this race, A Garcia. Oh, those were the 2 cars I saw. I thought it was only 1 car. I was seeing the gray number 24 of Jake Moss, and I didn't see Ace Garcia behind him. But those 2 have lost the draft, and now they've got to hope for a caution. And look at back here. Are they going to go 4 wide? They're thinking about it. Seth Cole way up there, and they were maybe 4 wide for a split second. It settled back out very quickly to 3 wide. Go back up to the front. Top 3 right now battling each other. You got Nick Johnson out in front, Jessica Miles there in 2nd, and Eli Sazak there in 3rd. And then here comes Darren Davidson in 4th, and I believe is that the 11 that's worked his way back up? No, that's the 8 of Ryan Brommer now up here inside the top 5. Brommer making his presence felt here as we are just now crossing the line to complete the first stage, so Nick Johnson will pick up some very valuable stage points as well as a playoff point towards the chase for the championship if he can find victory lane for the first time this season. And I'm noticing a couple of other drivers that we haven't talked about today popping up there inside the top 10. 11 of J Lagasee is coming back to the front, and he has now found his Red Horse Racing teammate, the 17 of D Theroux. Out in front, though, it is still Nick Johnson. Jessica Miles right there in second, but look behind her. You've got, I believe, is that the 29 or is that the 19? It's either Isaac Nichols, I think that is Friesen. Yep, it's Friesen's 29. Now trying to bow there, and here comes D Theroux. Is he going to be able to get to the inside of Jessica Miles for second? Not quite this time. Shane Lake up in this group. Tyler Deaver up here as well. A lot of drivers want to become a first-time winner this season, joining the likes of Ace Garcia and Paul Minnick, Tony Green, and Joshua Ciculli, Alex Gray, and Jonathan Zorlin. Theroux is now worked up to second. That's a very strong 17, and he's going to look to the inside, and he's going to have help. Tyler Deaver jumps to the inside on Shane Lake, and let's see who's going to win this drag race between the 42 and the 17 at the line. I think 17 got it. Scoring monitor says it was indeed D Theroux leading that lap. Mason Wood now there in the 92. He's in fourth position, taking that spot right now from Shane Lake. And do my eyes deceive me, or is that the 54 of Paul Minnick? We talked about him needing to get back into the top 30 in the point stand to have his win count toward the spot in the chase for the championship. And now he's up here inside the top 10. Johnson back to the top position, getting back by Theroux. Tyler Deaver right there in third. I thought he might actually have a challenge for third from Mason Wood. And they are 4 wide now. That is, I believe, Ryan Brommer on the bottom. Caitlin Tsang, Jessica Miles in the middle. And I believe it was Shane Lake who was kicked to the top side. They're still 4 wide back here. Good news was it was a very spacious 4 wide. They weren't leaning on each other. And usually the pressure on that falls on the 2 cars that are in the middle of the 4 wide situation, not to be rubbing doors and leaning on each other going into a corner. And 4 wide further back, that is Julius Anderson. He and Eli Bright were 4 wide with Minnick and Darren Davidson for a moment. Now they've settled it back out to 3 wide. Up front, we had another lead change. D Theroux back to the top position. Tyler Deaver moves into second, and boy, Nick Johnson got kicked way out of the groove. He crossed the line in first last time by. This time by, he was 10th. Got some more faces popping up here. That's what I love about Talladega, what I love about super speedway races in general. Everything seems to be in waves. You have one wave of drivers that move to the front, then they fade to the back, then a second wave of drivers move to the front. Well, I think we're on wave 3, and you've got A Yepez now up here towards the front. Seth Cole is also up here, and also, how about the 3 car? What a well-needed run for Barber. Barber coming into this race is dead last in the point standings. Easton Barber, a well-needed run. Could he be the driver that Talladega is going to cater to, as now Jordan Lopez goes for the race lead? Nick Johnson found his way back to the inside, and now he's in third. Now trying to take second. May try and go 3 wide for the lead down here into 3. He's going to try it. Where's Jessica Miles going to go? Is she going to help Lopez, or is she going to help Johnson? She's going to help Johnson on the bottom and push the 42 back to the top position. Of course, Jessica Miles came so close to picking up her first career win here in the TaxSlayer Truck Series back at Bristol Dirt. Finished right behind her teammate Alex Gray in a 1-2 finish in the second Bristol duel. Trying to pick up the win here. As a matter of fact, her husband, Benjamin Miles, is a former winner here at this very racetrack in the Hershey's Cup Series. That was, if I remember correctly, back in Season 3 of Hershey's Cup Series competition, where Benjamin Miles took the checkered flag at the second Talladega race. Got him 3 wide there, about 4, maybe 5 rows deep again in this lead pack. And the caution's out. Oh, we got a wreck! I think that was a Yepez that was spun around, and everybody's spinning around there in the midway point. That'll bring out the yellow flag, and that'll set us up for a very interesting finish here today. The big one has struck here on lap 13. I couldn't tell exactly everyone that was involved. I think it started with the 0-0 of A Yepez, but I'm not 100% certain. And Nick Johnson will lead us under our first caution of the day here at Talladega. When they crossed the line, there was 6 laps to go, and oh, they're leaning on each other back there. That was Seth Cole and Dylan Theroux. They're still beating and banging on each other back there. I don't know what's up there between the 98 and the 17. Looks like they're settled it out. Big break here for Garcia and Moss. Oh, E Sazak got involved. Charles Jackson was in. A lot of damage. J Tsang. And I don't know about these drivers, if they were involved or if they were drivers that had lost the draft. Zorlin and Srigley, Gabe Williams and Alex Gray. Oh, and now they're backing into each other. Tony Green. Oh, and they're still backing into each other. Green got into the back of, I think it was the 31 of Gratton. Not 100% certain. It might have been the 97 of Anderson. He's got front end damage now. Tristan Allen's got damage. I think there's some damage on Isaac Nicholls, number 19. Caution's out. Let's see if these drivers are coming to pit road. Nope, at least not the leaders. So, as we're under caution for the first time here today, and it'll set us up for a doozy of a finish. Let's go back and take a look at the replay. The big one strikes on the back straightaway. Hopefully this will be a good enough camera angle to determine how this started. And looks like right there, J Tsang and E Sazak getting together, and I think Tsang may have run Sazak out of room. They go up into a Yepez. Yepez gets turned around. J Tsang comes down, makes a little bit more contact with R Cervantes. That shoots her back up the track, again into the 0-5. Mason Wood tried to make a move to avoid. He gets into the 97 of Julius Anderson. Oh, I think Easton Barber got a little piece of it there on the passenger side of his 3. Look at Eli Bright and Tyler Deaver. Joshua Hyatt all get through. And then here's where the issue happens here. All these drivers back here had lost the draft. Patrick Smith and I think that's Joshua Ciculli, Ryan Madden, as well as Zach Rogers. There's Marty Zakala. And one of those drivers back here was Charles Jackson. Now they're still in trouble up here with the 0-5 of Sazak and the 97 of Julius Anderson. And let's see if something happens here. There goes Nicholls. There goes pole sitter Davey Johnson. 97 is still not spawned back to pit road, and I almost wonder if maybe Jackson's going to hit him. Jackson's going to be coming into view pretty shortly in the 4 truck. And let's see, where is he at? Okay, Jackson's in this group. These 3 make it through. Gratton, Green, and Allen. And look at this. Jackson went way down to the apron. He saw the smoke. I think he thought that they may still be wrecking. And right there. Oh, and it was just before the 97 spawned back to pit road. Talk about horrible timing for Charles Jackson. And that's what took and ripped the entire front end off his Dollar General Toyota Tundra. Jackson's been struggling in the point standings for most of the season. Last time out, he got a good run at Texas. It jumped up to 31st in points, but it's like he's going to free fall through the standings once again with a poor performance here today at Talladega, and that's what brought out the caution. Let's go back, see how many laps we'll have left to finish this race here at Dega. And it's going to be a green-white checker to finish it out here today at Talladega Superspeedway, so this should be a very interesting final 2 laps. For the restart, it's Nick Johnson with the lead. Michael Whitman all of a sudden has found his way up into second. I at first thought that was Easton Barber, but no, it's the 33 that's now up in the runner-up spot. Ryan Brommer will restart in 3rd with Marcus Saatchi in 4th. 5th is Shane Lake. Then it's Jessica Miles in 6th. The top 6 have not been to victory lane yet this season. Paul Minnick is the highest restarting race winner this season. He is 7th. Then it's Carter Friesen, Jordan Lopez, and then the 97 of, I keep forgetting his name, I do apologize, 97 of Nick Raill. That is your top 10 drivers that will not be coming to this green flag. E Sazak, Caitlin Tsang, Julius Anderson, and Charles Jackson. 39th, 40th, 41st, and 42nd is where they will finish out today's event. Saw all those stragglers, all those drivers that were at the tail end of the field and lost the draft. This was such a gift caution for them. Let's see if maybe they can do something with it. How many spots can they pick up in the final 2 laps of this race? Nick Johnson's been out front for a good portion of this race. He's got a really strong Toyota. Question is, though, will it be strong enough to hang on for 2 more circuits? Just a little over 5 more miles here today. We'll find out. Green flag back in the air. Green-white checkered here at Dega. Everyone trying to get their engines up to full song before they start making moves. Michael Whitman lost a little bit of ground there. Maybe hanging back, waiting to get a big run there with Ryan Brommer, Marcus Saatchi, and Shane Lake. Brommer has other ideas. He's going for second. Lake's going to help him. And look at Lake. He's going to go 3 wide. That's for third. And now Michael Whitman trying to get the slipstream off the 42. Does he have enough time? This next time by, they'll see the white flag. Nick Johnson trying to hang on, but that 33 is getting larger and larger in his mirror. The 43 of Lake pushing him. Paul Minnick right there. Here comes Lake to the inside for second. Shane Lake trying to clear, trying to be able to get to the back bumper of the 42 to maybe make a move down here into turn 3. They're going to go 3 wide again, potentially. Dylan Theroux to the bottom. He's got Jordan Lopez pushing him. Lopez now going to stick it low. Seth Cole offering the drafting help. They're 3 wide for second. No, they're not. Theroux going to hang on to second place. And here he is closing on the back bumper of Nick Johnson. Can Dylan Theroux make a move heading through the tri-oval? He ducks low. Where's Lopez going? He stays high. It's going to be a drag race between the 17 and the 42, but the 42's got help. And Nick Johnson will win here today at Talladega Superspeedway. He ran 2 seasons in the Pizza Hut X Series. Season 1, Season 2, went to victory lane once in Season 1, once in Season 2, decided instead of running a 3rd season to step down to the TaxSlayer Truck Series, and he will go to victory lane here today at Talladega. And boy, he owes a big debt of gratitude right there to Jordan Lopez in the 23. Both these drivers know each other very well from the Pizza Hut X Series. And Nick Johnson just barely edges out Dylan Theroux for his first win of the season in the TaxSlayer Truck Series. Nick Johnson came into this race 23rd in the point standings. And no doubt about it, he had one of the, if not the strongest truck here today. Spent the most time out in front. And closes the deal here today for this team of Flickinger Racing Development. Great drive for Nick Johnson. Let's take a look at the finishing results. Had Jordan Lopez either left Nick Johnson out to dry or dived low with the 17, there's no way Nick Johnson would have been able to win at the line. Johnson will get the win. Theroux second. Lopez comes home third. Seth Cole and Shane Lake fourth and fifth. Then Cervantes, Minnick, Davison, Brommer, and Saatchi. Boy, that was a crazy last few laps there on that green-white checkered. But that is going to do it for today's race here at Talladega. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We have shown your full finish results, and these are your overall point standings heading into our next race. Got to finish up our weekend here from Talladega, and that'll be coming your way with Pizza Hut X and Hershey's Cup Series action up next, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.